Hello, everyone. This is Gabby from Bliss Before Laundry, and I have here Sarah Knight. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
It's
Nice to see you.
it's so lovely to see her. She was with us, my God, a year and a half ago at Bliss in Five Oaks, and we all just fell in love with you, Sarah. And we were so happy that you're able to come back. She's a busy, 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 amazing woman, practitioner, and so yeah, tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So I am an energy healer. I work with Reiki, Bioenergy, several other tools. It's really evolved into, I guess, my own thing. And what I do is I work with people privately in groups. I teach people. I give a lot of workshops. I go to events whenever I can, and I'm so delighted to come back to Bliss Before Laundry. And so I support people to shift energetic blockages in their systems. And the premise is what I believe and what I know and what I see evidence of all the time is that underneath all physical, mental diseases, disorders, is an energetic imbalance. And by working on this level, other things throughout the whole system can clear as well. Long-standing heaviness in the body, in the mind. People often come just to work on things, anything from relaxation and stress to deeper, more sort of what's been termed chronic conditions. I work out of Kingston at Kingston Integrated Healthcare with Dr. Sonia Nobi and a wonderful team. There's about 10 of us there doing all different things. I'm the only energy therapist. There's acupuncturists and massage therapists and all sorts of people.
It's a beautiful clinic. It's so like inviting, and it's just such beautiful setting.
Yeah, I really lucked out there. I moved to Kingston 2 years ago, and it was just perfect timing, and the fit was right. And yeah, it's been a really beautiful blessing for me to be in that space.
So let's just touch on what you were saying about energy. You mentioned that you can clear energy for stress or something more chronic, deeper. What is energy? How can someone, that's never heard of sort of what, the word energy, that there is, energy, you hear things about energy between two people, like the chemistry between two people. Like, can you just give us sort of like a framework or like, a base on like, what is it that energy healers are looking like? What kind of energy is it that you're talking about?
Beautiful. Yeah, because can mean so many different things. That's a really good question. So if you don't mind, I'm going to answer it from two different perspectives because some people are more spiritually minded and some people are more practically and physically minded. So I'll talk about it from the two different places. So for those that are more spiritually minded, energy is the stuff of the universe. It's the part of us that is connected to everything. And energy is it's the life force flow. It's the divine. It's spirit. It is chi. It is that which flows through us and that which supports all actions in the body, the thought processes, the physical processes, the emotional processes. And so working with energy, you can shift on any of those levels and on any of those layers. Again, for the more spiritually minded, it might be easy to see that a person's energy doesn't stop at their physical boundaries, that a person's energy can go well beyond that. And we all have that experience, as you say, with chemistry, or seeing somebody across the room and going, oh, wow, I want to go talk to that person, or, oh, I don't want to go anywhere near that person. And it's just where some energies resonate, some don't. The same thing in places and spaces. Some places make you feel really great and like you want to be there. Some rooms you walk into and you say, oh, I just want to get out of here. So then maybe for the more scientifically minded, and I have a Ph.D. My background is in science, in chemistry, chemical oceanography. So I kind of started off there. The laws of physics basically say that physical matter is energy that is vibrating at a slow enough rate to take on physical form. So again, that idea that yes, the energy of our bodies has taken on physical form, but all around us is whole layers and layers of energy that are vibrating quicker and quicker, and at higher vibrations, at different vibrations. And so when you think about energy in this way, then sometimes it might be easier then to imagine how that would impact things like cellular processes and DNA and the whole epigenetics thing, you know, the what do we express and what don't we express. And so much of that is down to the environment, how we're feeling, how we're nurtured, how we're loved, how we love, all of those kinds of things that have been shown in science to switch certain genes on and certain genes off. So as an energy healer, I use, and acupuncturists work with energy. NDs work with energy. Herbalists work with energy. Everything is energy. Food is energy. You work with energy and the beautiful food that you prepare. The way I work with energy is just with my hands. So with practice and training over the years, I've developed a sensitivity in my hands and an ability to feel where there are stagnancies that need to be shifted, where there are depletions that need to be topped up. And there's a variety of other tools I use when I'm working with people just to support all that energy shifting as well.
That's an excellent explanation. And I think having that option of the two-minded people to understand what energy is, and it's true. I've been looking at more and more about how the energy of like radiation and the Wi-Fi and like the they call it EMS affects us, you know, and we say, oh, you know, we're all gonna have a cell phone all the time, and what are you gonna do? And like, but it's so true how it can be so disruptive, right? And that's another topic for another, you know, conversation. But that's just showing that there's so many, you know, waves all around us that interfere. Like, you know, it's like I just picture like going through, you know, the airport, right? Like the security thing, that it's like a wave of energy that you go through. And so it is how we're things in the environment. But it's so true about having someone across the room that you're like, oh my God, I want to be her best friend.
Yeah.
Or, I better get out of here because I don't feel good. That sort of feeling, right? And that's all that energy that flows. It's totally, you know, very nicely put.
Totally.
So just so that we take it to what you're doing at Bliss, right? Because you're bringing your amazing, very successful workshop to us again. De-stress and recharge. And you know, like you mentioned at the beginning, one of the elements and that helps with energy healing and energy clearing is we all have very stressful lives and different levels. I always compare my stressful life with my sister's. My sister's is, you know, 9 to 5. She commutes from, you know, outside Toronto to Toronto and goes back and gets home and makes dinner and then she crashes. To me, that's very stressful. But then she sees me, you know, like hustling and trying to do meetings and trying to do like how to run my own business. And like, she's like, that's stressful, right? Like, it's just, how do you know? But it's more about how does it affecting your body and how your body, right? So tell us a little bit more about stress, and then, you know, tell us what your workshop is like.
Wonderful. Good. Yeah. So stress to me is anything that pushes your system out of ease and harmony. So on any layer. So we all know there can be lots of emotional stresses, mental stresses, physical stresses, but it's anything that inhibits easeful flow in your life. And so for everybody, that's going to be different. We all have different strengths. We all have different abilities. We all have different desires and dreams and visions. So for everybody, that's different, as you just said there. Stress, also another way to look at stress is as an accumulation. So for 95% of the people that I see, even those people who come in complaining that their energy is very low, what they actually have is an accumulation of excess. stuff that hasn't been fully digested, processed, released, resolved. It's an accumulation. And this accumulation starts to inhibit the natural flow of our energy, the natural flow of our life force. And this is why some people feel like stress builds, because it does. So the workshops evolved out of about, I guess, maybe 12 or 13 years ago. I got very physically ill, and Western medicine couldn't offer me anything. And I knew that that wasn't the end, because the message that I got as soon as I got ill was of that. I could see all of that accumulation, all of those things that I hadn't shifted, and then I had pushed my physical body, my energetic body, to a point of stress so that the physical processes had ceased to function properly. And that's what happens. These energetic twists and stagnancies began long before physical disease manifests. That's why it's so important to keep your energy flowing. But what I started to do, and I had a lot of people help me, and I read a lot of books, and I learned lots of things, and what I discovered was lots of things that I could do at home that helped me release that excess from my body. And as the excess was released, then I started to feel, wow, all the possibility for what I really needed, which was the good stuff. So I tended to combine the techniques for releasing and techniques for restoring. And so hence the de-stress and recharge piece. So the workshops really came out of my personal practice, lots of bits and pieces from lots of different places. I tend to do whatever I feel is, there's so many different things I could do, whatever I feel is called for by a certain group or at a certain time of year on a particular day. But I pretty much follow a sequence. And the first is working with the physical body, just to release on a physical layer that stuff that we have accumulated. And one of my favorite tools is shaking, just literally shaking the body. That physical energetic layer is so easily accessed by our beautiful bodies. And we do it all the time. We can do it all the time if we let our bodies move the way that they really want to, but we often don't give time and space to do that.
So I always ask you to sort of end the conversation before we go. Can you just give one sort of sneak peek of what the workshop? So one example, and if you could do shaking, what can you tell me more about shaking? Like, what do people have to do every day now to like start, pick most of those layers out?
Good. So honestly, I recommend this to so many of my clients in between sessions with me. So should I show you how I shake?
Please.
All right. So hold on. I'm going to have to put you down. Yeah. And it's a good thing. I was out working in the garden today, and I considered only changing the top half of my body. And I thought, no, I better put on some proper trousers to get out of these gardening trousers. So it's a good thing I did. So let me see if I can adjust this here. So can I get far enough back so you can see?
That's good. Yeah.
Is that okay like this?
Yes.
So literally shaking, the best way to shake is just to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, nice and grounded, connected to the ground, and just shake the body. And starting off like this, shaking the body, letting the shoulders hang loose, shaking the head, slackening the jaw, moving the hips. And what you will find at the first, it's going to feel like you are shaking your body. And what happens if you do it, and sometimes when I practice like this, sometimes it only takes me a few minutes. Sometimes it takes me up to half an hour before the shake starts moving me, and before my body is doing things that it needs to do without me controlling it. And that's the beauty spot. That's where those accumulations, those things that we feel, the knots in the stomach and the tension in the shoulders and, the twists and the aches and the pains. There's just stresses, accumulations, energetic blockages that want to move. So the other thing I say when shaking is to breathe as well. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth.
You forget it. It's so hard to breathe. Completely.
Totally. And it's the energy of a sigh. We all sigh like, oh, it's a great stress release. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth facilitates that release process. So honestly, it's so simple. And sometimes I fear that if I teach enough people how to shake, that I will run out of business.
And and
So
hopefully,
effective.
exactly, like that's what we're looking to do, right?
Yeah.
Practitioners like me that I cook, like I of course I cook for you, of course I tell you, but I want you to do it because it just will make that little bit of your life much better. So
Totally. Oh, beautiful.
yeah, no,
Totally.
I think, I mean, it's great. I think everyone, hey, start shaking. Is it every night? Should we do it every day at night, in the morning,
Yeah.
as often as we want? How does that work?
Good. So what I say is that definitely after any sort of stressful interactions, a long day of work, anytime you feel an accumulation, anytime you feel something that maybe your habit is to swallow it down or to have a drink or to cut off, to turn on the television, to go on Facebook. So you feel discomfort and you go, it's fine. I'll be okay. I can deal with it. I can do it. It could be so much worse. It could be this, this is okay. This is nothing like that time. When in actual fact, it's caused distress. It's something has created a feeling of sadness or overwhelm or frustration or anger.
And then it accumulates if you don't do something about it.
It doesn't go away. We think that our mind is like, we can reason it away, right? Like, oh, that's okay, because it could be so much worse. And we think that then it's dealt with because all of a sudden we feel better. Our mind has just packaged it off into a little box and it's storing it away somewhere. So that's when I would say the best time to shake is immediately after or becoming aware of an uncomfortable feeling. And if we lived like that, if we could do that in the moment, stuff wouldn't accumulate. And in the moment, 2 or 3 minutes of shaking something out of the system could have it resolved. But what I tend to do, I had many years of not doing this, of letting things build up. And if I don't shake daily, which I don't anymore, I did for a long time when I was actively working on my healing. And now I've got to that place of like, oh, I feel good. Things are like mostly good enough. And so what happens in me, it doesn't take long, sometimes just a few days before I feel like nothing even that I'm aware of, but that an accumulation is built up. So it's whenever it comes into your awareness, ideally daily, shaking for 10 or 15 minutes every morning at the end of a work day would be fantastic for keeping stuff moving. Amazing. So I belong to a shaking group in Ireland, and we shook for an hour and a half once a week.
That is
and
so
incredible
amazing.
transformations
I think
happen.
we're all going to shake at Bliss this October. So,
oh, yes, you are.
We're going to do it maybe at the beginning on the Friday night. We should totally all shake because I think it makes so much sense, and
so much.
Gotta become aware of our bodies and
totally.
And practice makes better, and then we'll get better eventually by getting our mind to understand what our heart and our body needs, right?
Totally. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Thank you so much for this minutes. We went past our time, but thank you. And we're really, really excited to see you in a month's time. Oh my God, it is less than a month. And if you have any questions, please, just comment below. We'll post this video. Sarah's always available, and we will see you all in 4 weeks. Thank you, Sarah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.